Hi everyone, it's JoJo from Mojo Jojo Plans, and today I'm going to be showing you the planners that I am going to be using for 2022 as well as just showing you and kind of going over what I have been using for the past year so far, or some of them are only half of a year, but I'm just going to go over that and then why I switched to certain things and all that good stuff. So let's start from smallest to biggest, and we'll just go in with my mini. So what is going to be replacing my mini planner? My mini planner basically serves the purpose of pretty much being a mimic of my classic catch-all planner. It's just something that it's small. I can throw it in my bag and have it with me without having to take my entire planner with me. I usually like to have metal discs on this one because, again, it does get thrown around. And I've loved having the Skinny Mini. It's been super fun, but it looks like that they're not making another Skinny Mini, or at least, you know, they're not. I mean, I could find them, and I have seen some people make their own Skinny Minis. But, I mean, I think I'm okay. Like, I think I kind of figured out how this worked for me, how to plan in it, and I'm ready for a new challenge. So I'm actually not too mad that they didn't come out with any new Skinny Minis. So I am actually going to be switching to a mini planner, just a regular old mini planner, and I'm actually going to be franken planning two planners together, just because I like the insides of one, the dashboards of another, the cover of one, like those types of things. So, and I'm just gonna kind of franken plan this one. So, and I'll have another video up of setting up all my planners, getting ready for 2022, I think this week. So definitely stay tuned for that. That'll be happening separately. I just wanted to split them up. Yeah, but I'm switching, and I'm actually going to be switching to a horizontal layout, which I haven't used a horizontal layout since like the beginning of my planner journey. Even after that, like a little bit after that, because they didn't even have mini planners when I first started with Happy Planner. They only had classic size, and then they came out with mini, and all they had was horizontal. So I had to figure out how to make horizontal work for me. And I haven't used a horizontal in I think like 3 or maybe more than that years. So it's been a hot minute since I've used a horizontal mini, and I'm actually really excited to go back to this layout because I know I figured it out back then, but how I planned back then is much different than how I plan now, and I'm just ready for a new exciting challenge. So I chose this one. It's a Marabou design, and I really liked this one because it was super neutral. On the inside, it only has black polka dots, which is basically what this one had. I mean, this one was more like splatters, and then it's just all gray lines, which I am totally okay with. So this one was the most neutral, like mini horizontal that I could find. So this is the one I'm going to be going with. And then they came out with this guy, and this one came out a little bit later, which villains are my absolute favorite. I'm pretty positive if I had powers, I would end up being a villain. That could be a bad thing, I don't know, but I feel like that's probably where I would go to. So this is why we're not given superpowers, because I just, you know, I think that's the line I would probably go to. But Ursula is one of my absolute favorite characters. I like villain characters, so I think I want to use this cover with her. And then I think I'm going to be using the dividers on this one because they're all the villains, and, you know, the villains are just so much fun. So I think I'm actually going to be using these. So I'm going to be franken planning these ones over, kind of how I did with my classic catch-all, which I'll show you how I did that, because I did it in a way where I could still keep my neutral monthly, but then have like this version of it. And I'm not super married. Like, these are really cute. Like, I do love a lot of these, like with the florals and stuff, but then villains came out and that kind of took over, because I was okay with just using this just as is, but then they came out with the villains, and then I was like, nope, I gotta use those. But the only reason why I'm not using the full thing of the villains is because it's a dashboard layout, and I hate dashboard. I am discovering like dashboard is just not a layout for me at all. So I won't be using these pages. They're not my favorite. And I'll just be using the dividers and the cover from this one. So I'm going to be franken planning these two together. And if you're wondering what franken planning is, it basically is like, you know how like Frankenstein is like literally made with like different parts put together. That's basically what Franken planning is. So I'll be taking the cover from this one, putting it over here. I'll be taking the dividers, putting from this one, putting them over here, but also just using the guts. So I'm like mixing and mashing two planners together. And I do like the dashboard page on this one. It's just nice and simple. I don't generally use that in my mini, but I actually might this year. I think just because in the skinny mini it was so small that I just didn't ever really feel like I wanted to use this. So I didn't ever use this page, but I actually might use it over here just to like note my birthdays. So when I'm out and about and I can be like, oh yeah, I need to buy a present or a card or blah, blah, blah. So that's what I'm going to be swapping out my skinny mini with, is these two mashed together into one, switching to a horizontal layout, which shouldn't be too far off from here, because I mean technically this is horizontal if we want to get like technical about it. So yeah, so that's what my skinny mini is now going to be changing to, just a regular mini, which I have a lot of cute covers for my mini, so I'm really excited that I'll be using that. All right, so the next one, I'm trying to figure out where to set these down. I have so much stuff on my desk. So the next one that I'll be replacing is my classic catch-all. So this one actually is a Franken planned and transformer planner, because at the back of it, I have a whole nother section, which I can just flip it like that. And then it goes into some budgeting stuff, which I won't show you because that's my life. But we have like our budgeting, and I've really just been using the months of like the monthly for budgeting. I used to do a lot more, which I think I'm going to go back to doing what I used to do, which I'll show you when I show you the planner that I'm going to be using. But I did end up swapping to just using just the monthly and really just keeping track of like our bills and all that and when they're paid. But I'm going to go back to actually writing down things so I can actually keep track of like where we're spending our money. I think just this, like the last half of this year just got super busy and I just didn't have time to do that, but I really need to make time for it this year because it kind of made us mess up a lot in things. So I'm going to go back to that, but I'll be doing this again. So this is called a transformer planner, and it's basically where you take two different covers and then I can flip, and then that way it looks like I have like one planner. So however I flip this, like this, you know, now it looks like a whole new planner. So I'll be doing this again just because I thought this was so much fun. I still haven't decided what the second cover is going to be in my transformer planner, but by the time I do my setup, my planner setup, all that good stuff, I'll have that figured out. So I'm switching my classic catch-all, which this one was the, I think this one was Stephanie's planner, but I Franken planned it again, and I did it with the princesses as the dividers, and I basically did it so that way I still had the nice neutral, but then I also had this. You could glue them. I didn't choose to glue them this time just because I still really liked some of these dividers, so that's why I didn't glue it, but I think I might glue the other ones because I'm not as married to those ones. So my classic catch-all is what everything goes into, whether it be like my schedule, the kiddo schedule, maybe sometimes the hubby's schedule, and just anything that we have going on. And again, my mini does mimic this. It doesn't have like every detail like my to-dos, but this one has like all my to-dos, everything. So the planners that I'll be using to replace that one is this gorgeous beauty with like copper metal discs, and it's gorgeous. And as of right now, I'm planning to keep this as is just because I love this cover, but I also know I have a ton of covers to go through, so my cover might be changing, but again, I'll figure that out when it gets time to do my setup video. So this one, again, it's pretty neutral. It does have some stuff on the monthly pages, so I think I might have to figure that out. I actually might play around with this one as well, and maybe even using the monthlies, because this one does have some monthly pages in it, so I might even play around and maybe switch these out with undated monthlies from this notes one, which I don't know why I put this back on here when I need to open it, but this has like some months pages, so I might take these and use these instead of these ones and just do an undated and date it with my Date It sticker book, just because I love these and I love the florals, but I'd much rather have neutral stuff. And I might use this one, man, I might use this one for other things too. Dang. But yeah, I probably will take these ones and use them just because I think that'll make it a lot easier. So this is from the Plans and Notes, and it's available on Amazon. But for the most part, it's pretty neutral. The only thing is there is stuff down the spine, which is a bummer. but this was the only one that I was like super married to, so I might just like deal with it and just kind of ignore the insides. Honestly, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to also be franking planning that. So the planner that I'm going to be using for the budgeting side is this one, and it's aligned vertical layout. Usually I use an hourly planner, but I honestly bought this one for the clear discs because I just thought that was so cool. But this one does have the neutral, so I honestly could take these ones. Ooh, maybe I'll do that because these ones are already dated and I'm lazy. But I might take like the monthlies from these or just use the monthlies for my bill stuff. But what I like to use this layout for, which again I used to use just like the hourly, but this one pretty much works the same way. So basically the top shaded part here will be where I put the bills that are unavoidable. I call them unavoidable bills, meaning like our rent, meaning like our phone bill, like things that are going to come out no matter what if they're automatic payments. And then I'll use all these lines for transactions throughout the day. And then usually what I'll do at the bottom is I'll put like a little box, and then I'll total up how much we spent on like non-essential things, you know, like we went out to eat or blah blah blah, like just all those things. And then it kind of helps me. And then usually over here I'll put like, okay, like I spent this much, the hubby spent this much, we spent way too much this week, and that just kind of helps me. So I'm going to go back to using this. I used to use the hourly, which they were a little bit bigger, and this one's a little bit smaller, and I write small anyway, so I'm not super worried about it. But the goal would be, hopefully these won't be getting filled up that much every day. Sometimes it's like, oh, all of a sudden there's nothing throughout the week, and then like the weekend is like filled with like tons of things. But I've really enjoyed using that for like a budgeting. That way I can kind of almost use it like as a cash register or a check register kind of thing. And then just kind of helps me better track like where our money's going without having to like look at the computer all the time. So I kind of just use that for that purpose. So this is what I'll be franken planning with my classic catch-all, and then maybe even this one to use those undated pages. So three planners turned into one for my classic catch-all this year. So that should be fun. Okay, so that's that guy. All right, the next one is my social media planner, which, you guys, it's a dashboard layout. I'm gonna flip to a random spot. So this does go until July because it was a 18-month planner, and it is pretty neutral, but I'm just discovering dashboard layout does not work for me at all. Like, I am pretty determined and know that fact. And I know that because half the time I don't even write in here. A lot of the spreads are left empty because I don't know. I think it's just like too much space, and it's a big, and I love having a big, but I'm also like, I think it's just too much for me. I don't need that much space for social media. So I'm going to switch it up. I actually bought this pack from Live Love Posh. They are daily filler classic size planner sheets. They're dailies. So I think I'm going to try to go daily because a lot of the times I do a lot of stuff for social media in like 2 days, and then it's literally just about making sure things are posted. So I think I might be using this, maybe even along with this, and then kind of using the monthlies in here. So I got to kind of figure out what monthlies I'm using for what, but that way I can put like my post schedule. But like I said, I usually film all on like between like 2 days. I usually edit between 2 days. I usually do stuff. So I think switching to a space that is less space will be a lot easier. So I'm really excited to try this out and decorate it and plan in it and just see if this helps me better, because yeah, so this has 100 sheets, so I will have to get more for the entire year, but I just wanted to get a pack just to see how I went with it. But I like this one. It's super neutral. I'm pretty sure, where'd my X-Acto knife go? I kept cutting myself earlier, so I put it away because I kept forgetting I switched the blade out, and then I kept touching it and then accidentally. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, the back is just bullet points and like some graphs. So it's super neutral, but I think this will be like my big thing, like 3 main things I need to focus on, and then all like the smaller things. But I'm really excited to just try this out and see how this works for me. And yeah, and I just have to put it on some discs and give it a cover and call it good. So I'm moving down a size to classic size for my social media planner, and we're gonna see if that works better, because obviously what I've been doing has not been working. And then my last one is actually not switching for now, because this one was an 18-month, my memory planner. which is where all our memories are. I still have a couple months left in here, all the way through to, through to next December? What? I think I had already like put this together with something else. What planner was this that it goes to December? I don't remember, but this one goes for forever. So I'm going to keep using this one. So this one's not going to be switching out. I will just be taking out December forward. So I have July through December. I will just be taking this out and putting it with the rest that I have in a different planner. But for now, I'll probably keep this one, and then I might switch this one out come July when like the new July 18-month planners switch. So that one is not switching, and that's the only one that I'm not making a change in. So there you go, you guys. All my planners, their purposes, why I'm switching things out so much. I don't even think I can fit it all in the camera here. There we go. A lot of Franken planning is going to be going on. Make sure to stay tuned for my setup video where I'll be setting up all these. We'll be Franken planning them, transforming them, just getting them all prepped and ready for the new year. So definitely make sure to stay tuned for that video. I so hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you in my next one. Bye!